He was richer than Escobar, quieter than El Chapo, and for a decade he ruled the meth trade across half the world without a single headline. No shootouts, no Instagram bravado, just billions of dollars laundered through casinos and sealed with handshakes behind closed doors.
His name? Tse Chi Lop. You probably don't know it, and that's exactly how he wanted it. But his empire, the company, was so massive, so invisible, that it nearly broke the entire blueprint for modern drug enforcement.
This is the story of how the most mysterious drug kingpin in modern history built an empire, and how the shadows he moved in finally swallowed him whole. Before he was a ghost with billions, he was a boy. Born in 1963 in Guangzhou, China, Tse Chi Lop grew up during the Cultural Revolution, a time when chaos ruled and trust was currency. He wasn't rich, he wasn't connected, but he had one advantage: survival instinct. In the late 80s, he emigrated to Toronto, Canada, and started working a regular job at Fujifilm. It looked like a clean break, a new life. But the streets had other plans. There, in the shadowy corners of Chinatown, Tse connected with the Big Circle Boys, a ruthless offshoot of former Red Guards who turned to crime. By the mid-90s, Tse was quietly helping move heroin into North America. He wasn't flashy, he wasn't loud, but he was reliable, and in the drug trade, that's everything. In 1998, Tse's name finally reached the FBI. He was caught in a global sting operation flying into Hong Kong. His charge: conspiracy to traffic heroin. Facing life in prison, Tse didn't panic. He didn't flip. He pleaded hardship, told the court about his aging parents, his sick child, played the quiet father figure. And it worked. He served just 6 years in a US prison. But prison didn't break him, it refined him. By the time he was deported back to Canada, he was no longer just a middleman. He was planning something bigger. Something the world had never seen. By 2011, Tse had vanished into the folds of Hong Kong. That's when whispers began of a figure uniting Asia's 5 most powerful triads: 14K, Woshing Wo, Sun Yeon, Bamboo Union, and of course, the Big Circle Gang. Together they formed Sam Gor, also known simply as the Company. It wasn't just a cartel, it was a corporate machine. They weren't moving heroin anymore. They pivoted to methamphetamine, cheap to make, easy to smuggle, addictive as hell, using jungle's super labs hidden deep in Myanmar's Shan state. They began producing meth at a scale the world had never seen. Hundreds of tons, destined for Australia, Japan, New Zealand, Korea. And no one even knew who was in charge. At his peak, Tse Chi Lop was making $17 billion a year. He became Asia's most powerful drug lord, and no one had even seen his face. He never carried a phone. He used encrypted apps. His inner circle was tighter than a submarine hatch. His signature policy? Free reships. If your meth shipment got seized, he'd replace it, no charge. That's how much control he had over supply. But even kings crave thrill. In Macau, he once gambled away $66 million in a single night. Not to show off, just because he could. But Tse's kingdom wasn't invisible, not anymore. In 2012, Australian Federal Police, AFP, launched Operation Kunga, a secret investigation into meth flooding their borders. In 2016, they got a break. A Taiwanese trafficker was arrested in Myanmar. His phone was a gold mine. It laid out Sam Gor's supply chain, shipments, labs, and yes, a name, the boss. Tse's legend was no longer rumor. He was real, and he was being hunted. On January 22, 2021, Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam was unusually quiet. A man walked up to the check-in desk for a flight to Canada. Middle-aged, calm, passport in hand. That man was Tse Chi Lop. Dutch police, tipped off by Interpol, arrested him on the spot. After years in the shadows, the meth king was finally in custody. He barely blinked. In December 2022, Tse was extradited to Australia under heavy security. He faces charges of leading a criminal syndicate and trafficking massive quantities of meth. If convicted, he could spend the rest of his life behind bars. But even behind bars, his name still echoes. The labs in Myanmar, still active. The Triads, still operating. Tse was the brain, but the body of the beast still moves. Tse Chi Lop didn't just deal drugs, he changed the game. He treated meth like a Fortune 500 product, scaled it like Amazon, outsourced like Alibaba, and stayed quiet like a ghost in a billion-dollar machine.
His story is a warning, not just about drugs, but about what happens when business, crime, and invisibility collide. Because for every Tse that falls, another rises, and you'll never know their name until it's too late.